quicker. But today, I think boys are fit enough to play and fight out.
With the bowlers, you'll get a chance in the second innings, but were you a little worried or concerned about the lack of penetration you had with the bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I think our bowlers have been doing all right. As far as today's matches, I guess that we have to bat it well and make a decent total that we can fight it out. I think it's more important right now.
And lastly, any changes to your team?
No, we play with the same team.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There we go. Kane Williamson and New Zealand have won the toss and decided to bowl first.
Thank you very much, Scott Styrus. So here are the team lists who are playing today. So no changes to that Bangladesh side. Mahid Hassan, he'll need to do more today. Mushfiqur Rahim, plenty to talk about after the break when we come back to them. The New Zealand side, only the one change there. Todd Astle in for Mitchell Santner. So if you've just joined us, New Zealand has won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. When we come back, we have much more in this build-up. We take an in-depth look at the two sides and we will see you very soon.
স্বাদ আর গন্ধ BFL অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ফয়েল।
বাংলাদেশ ক্রিকেট দলের নিউজিল্যান্ড সফর দ্বিতীয় একদিনের আন্তর্জাতিক খেলাটি সরাসরি দেখতে চোখ রাখুন আজ ভোর 4টায়, পুনঃ প্রচার সন্ধ্যা 6টায়।
এটা নিয়ে জামা
মন থেকে মনে, পথ থেকে পথে সুইয়া সুইয়া যায় রূপালী মায়া, রূপালী মায়া ইয়াদর জড়াইয়া থাকে, মমতা মুড়াইয়া থাকে রূপালী মায়া।
রূপালী মায়ায় অটুট থাকুক খাবারের স্বাদ আর গন্ধ BFL অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ফয়েল।
স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি চ্যানেল 9 বিশেষ আয়োজন ইগলু পাওয়ার প্লে অনুষ্ঠানে। Your impression on the match itself?
আসলে কন্ডিশনটাকে আমার মেইন প্রতিপক্ষ মনে হয়নি, আমাদের অ্যাপ্রোচটা আরেকটু বেটার হতে পারতো।
নির্বাচকরা এখন কিছু কিছু স্পেশালিস্ট প্লেয়ার ফর ডিফারেন্ট ফরম্যাটস অফ দ্য গেম করেছে।
এটা জিতেই হবে আমাদেরকে, নাহলে আমাদের প্লেয়াররা ইনজুরিতে থাকবে।
নিজেদের উইকেটটা মোটামুটি বিলিয়ে দেওয়ার ব্যাপারটা এখনো কিন্তু বাংলাদেশ এটা থেকে কেন যেন বেরিয়ে আসতে সক্ষম হচ্ছে না।
তারা যে জায়গায় নিয়ে গিয়েছিল বাংলাদেশকে, তখন তারা হয়তো ভাবছিল যে লাস্ট 7-8টা ওভার যদি সলিড ক্যাপিটালাইজ করা যায়।
ইগলু পাওয়ার প্লে দেখবেন বাংলাদেশ নিউজিল্যান্ড সিরিজের প্রতিদিনের খেলা শেষে।
এটা নিয়ে জামা
মন থেকে মনে, থাকে পথে
Welcome back to Hagley Oval in Christchurch for the second ODI between New Zealand and Bangladesh. Here are some shots yesterday of the Black Caps training with Redcliffe School helping out on what looked to be a bit of a nicer day than we currently have here. Few spots of rain around. It's a little bit grey, but hopefully the rain will hold off. If you have just joined us, New Zealand have won the toss and they are going to bowl first. Simon Dula said it's definitely a bowl first surface. There you go, you can see some other cricket happening here at Hagley Park as well. It's great to have some cricket in the South Island, I tell you that. We're not far away from this international getting underway, so let's head out to the middle now to find out about this New Zealand side with just the one change to it. Ian Smith and Craig Cumming.
Yeah, thank you, Laurie. Yeah, there has been a little bit of drizzle. It's gone away now quickly, which is nice. But Ian, welcome out to the middle, and also let's have a look at this New Zealand side. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a side that shows consistency of selection. Of course, it's a side that reflects on the World Cup going forward as well. So Nichols and Guptill, of course, they worked in Napier, so they continue that. And I don't think you'll see a lot of change in terms of the top five in the side at all as we progress throughout this series and towards the World Cup. So Williamson, of course, who gets the next game off, and he's looking forward to that, Taylor and Latham. But it's the next block which they've got the question mark on it, and today they've made a change, Sid.
Yeah, they have. Well, they've got Colin de Grandhomme and James Nesham, but it's Todd Astle who gets into the side, an opportunity on his home ground, and he'll be wanting to get a bowl, and the conditions probably are more seamer-friendly, but good to see him there and getting an opportunity. Matt Henry, Lockie Ferguson and Trent Bolt. So no Tim Southey again, so he misses out on what I would have thought maybe would be swinging conditions when you look at that, but New Zealand have obviously got their lineup that they do. But let's have a look back at the last game, Ian, and I tell you, we spoke on commentary. I spoke to you a lot about the New Zealand side, Martin Guptill, and the form that he showed. What was successful about him? What did you see that you enjoyed?
Well, he took his time. He was able to because there wasn't a lot of scoreboard pressure, so he's able to build. And this, you got to remember, this is coming off a break. And the last time he came off a break, he got 100 against Sri Lanka. So, I don't know, in a weird sort of way, maybe that suits him, but we don't want him to have a break. He punished anything remotely loose, but he was prepared to wait. And I thought it was a beautifully paced innings. He batted well with Nichols at the start, a little partnership with Williamson, and then they finished the deal with Ross Taylor. And it's incidentally, out of the 1,500s he's got, 9 times when he's brought up his 3 figures, Ross Taylor's been at the other end. So maybe he's a steadying influence. But what I did notice, and the boys in the truckers helped us out a wee bit here, is the difference was he didn't go well against India. And India bowled a lot straighter to him. In fact, they bowled 28.5% of the deliveries they bowled to Martin Guptill to hit the stumps. And therefore they didn't give him a lot of width to play some of his trademark shots over extra cover or cut shots, that sort of thing, and nothing really through the onside. When it came, of course, to Bangladesh, they were a lot different, and therefore only 12.5% of the deliveries they bowled to him throughout that innings would have hit the stumps. So I think there's a lesson in that. If you want to tie Martin Guptill down, you must bowl straight at the stumps, give yourself a chance. Of course, Mohammad Shami fixed them up when it came to India. But Martin Guptill in really good form. And the thing I like about Martin Guptill is when he finds form, generally it stays for quite some time, and he has a run of good scores.
Yeah, and what I also like about it, I think because he's missed so much cricket, he's actually highly motivated, and he spoke after the game that it didn't feel fluid. He's got a lot to work on. He's got a lot to keep going, and I think that bodes well because he has missed a lot of cricket. So, and they're not playing Test cricket, so now's the chance for him to shine, and he needs to do it quite quickly.
I didn't think it was brutal batting at all.
No.
I thought New Zealand might have challenged themselves and said, let them get these runs in 40 overs. But having said that, they also just come off a 4-1 beating, and to win the first game of the series is vitally important. So I think there's a little bit of caution there. As the series progresses, I'd like to see them push the limits, because 230s, 240s won't be winning you any games in World Cups. You've got to be scoring 300 plus, and at some stage with time running out, they've got to try and up the ante. And it's not going to happen today, but they're going to bat first at some stage. I want to see them bat first and really go.
Yeah, that's right, because the conditions. Let's have a look at another part of the game, and we just spoke in the team. Todd Astle comes into the side, so he gets an opportunity. In some ways, I'd love to see it with the sun shining and an opportunity where maybe the ball doesn't swing around. But let's have a look at his career to date.
This is against the West Indies, of course, at Cobham Oval.
Please like, comment and
share. Wickets up there and contribute well with the bat. And he really, that was one of his first outings where he said, yeah, I can do an all-round job for you guys. And that's what put him in that bracket. A wicket. Also got Kuldeep Yadav, of course, down the order. And that was in Hamilton when New Zealand knocked them over so cheaply and won that game in a very short space of time. But today he's at home. I'm not sure how much he's going to get out of this pitch. We talked about that before. But he's in the side, and that's a real plus. And I think if you're going to play a spinner or 2 spinners, you've got to be in the World Cup situation and dry conditions in England at times. He's certainly, I think, at the moment, the favourite. If he could bowl himself out of it today in the next game, But at the moment, I think because he's playing this late in the process, he's the number one choice.
Yeah, I also think when you look at it, the match sitting as number one. But I also think when you look at it, the match sitting as number one. So they see him as an all-rounder. He's a guy that if he plays as the second spinner for this New Zealand side, it's as an all-rounder. So he needs to
Please like, comment and share.
I just wonder whether today that the key thing is like comment and share down because the swings around. He's not going to be put under pressure. Whether we or the selectors find out what they need to know.
Well, he only got a rare opportunity in Hamilton. Let's hope from his point of view he is challenged and we see what comes out of it. One of the other aspects that was so good for me the other night was the ground fielding.
Absolutely.
I thought the New Zealand side were committed inside the circle. I reckon they saved probably 30 or 40 runs inside the circle just out of pressure and out of absolute commitment. And that's not just one guy, it was a general effort. Brilliant.
Yeah, well, you can put it down to a couple of things. I think the outfield in Napier now is brilliant, and being sand-based, the ball actually rolls along the ground, so it makes it easier for the dives. It is something that New Zealand do pride themselves on the way they do it. Just when you look at the conditions, Ian, just to wrap it up, what do you think when you're looking at today?
Well, I just spoke to Tim Southey and he's a little bit angry that he's not bowling, which means I suggest that it might be interesting for the first 10 overs or so. I think Bangladesh have got to be disciplined, hold their nerve and bat longer, because we saw when they can bat for long periods of time, they score. They've got some talented players.
Appreciate your time this morning. There we are, Laura, the thoughts out here in the middle.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, I'm now joined sideline by the wonderful Leslie Murdoch and Mike Heston, and we're going to talk about this Bangladesh side in a little more depth. Now, no changes to this side. Mike, as a former coach, well, you're still coaching overseas, but as a former New Zealand coach, when you talked to the Bangladesh team at the end of the game in Napier, they were saying, well, you know, a little bit jet-lagged, they arrived in dribs and drabs. You can't really do that in international cricket these days, can you?
Well, look, in all honesty, I did hear that comment, and that's just the nature of international cricket. You know, players are playing all around the world. They're having to change from format to format. They're basically looking at that being able to interchange. And in all honesty, it's not an excuse. You've got to be able to stand up quickly, and you've got to be able to...
I was pleasantly surprised with some of the shots. They were a bit extravagant in terms of building an innings, and we saw that with the loss of those early wickets. But, boy, did they get... And then they lost their wicket. So I think that we will see an ability to build an innings better today.
Yeah, there was some real positive intent with the bat. Be interesting to see what happens today with New Zealand, of course, bowling first. Now, Mike, one
fine player. I mean, he's basically based, their whole innings is based around him, and he's got to find a tempo that suits today. Litton Das is a very talented player, got a hunt, still very steady. Sumasaka, really nice. We saw a little glimpse of how good he was the other day. Mushfiqur Rahim, we'll talk a little bit. Matan, he's a stroke player, and he needs that platform to be able to play the way that he's able to play. Mahmudullah, obviously high quality player, a couple of hundreds against New Zealand in recent times. Shabir Rahman. Shuffled in. We saw him bat and score some valuable runs in Napier, and useful with the new ball. Mahidi Hassan, be interesting to see whether we see him open the bowling today. Conditions might dictate that he doesn't. Mortaza, well, his team. And Mustafizur Rahim, absolutely outstanding. He's got that pace back. So once he's got that pace back, we know that he's going to be dangerous with that slower ball as well.
Let's talk a little more about Mushfiqur Rahim. So it's his 200th ODI today, and you need your senior players to step up when you play a team like the Black Caps.
Dominating those middle overs. So for me, the key is that he needs to come in at a stage where the ball's not nipping around. I think Bangladesh need to look at where they use him today. So I think 4 is a fraction too high today, overs, especially against spin and when the ball's not seaming.
And especially Bangladesh, who really still are making their way in the international game. They're a fledgling nation, aren't they? So I think that's 200. That is just brilliant. Absolutely. And what I like about them, and we'll talk about their stroke making, how they're fearless. They come out and just play them off the block. Yeah. It's the big shots like this, which is really handy. Mahidi coming in possibly, depending on the conditions, but a very important all-rounder for Bangladesh.
Very important. It's a very important game for them. As a batting pitch. So, yes, they lost a lot of wickets, but they still batted with such positive intent, didn't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's certainly been a feature of the way Bangladesh have played in recent. The difference to that, he's the guy who likes to bat through the innings. He does play big shots, but he likes to bat time and sort of the rest of the middle order bat around him. But they're all nipped out too early. They could set a dangerous total.
A very dangerous total. All right, well, we're not far away from cricket here. A few spots of rain around at the moment here at Hagley.
10, West Indies in a spot of bother.
But today's TAB odds.
Thanks, Laura. Exactly the same price head-to-head as the last match in Napier, which I think proved to be pretty good. $3.75 for Kane Williamson. Henry Nichols, the other opener, is at $4.50. Now, Ross Taylor, his last 7 turns at bat against Bangladesh. And 4 out of the last 9 has been the top run scorer for New Zealand in one day. As this ticket will pay you $5 for every dollar you...
Yes, thank you very much. I've still got Mike Heason and Leslie Murdoch down sideline with me. I want to talk about this New Zealand team a little bit more. I want to talk about...
Yeah, he certainly does. I mean, he came into the international arena last year and knows the ground well. He enjoys the bounce. So from a leg spinner's point of view, he's not tall and he's a little bit more round arm, but really benefits from the bounce that he gets in conditions.
Now, we look at this New Zealand team, and I don't remember that he is yet to get a go.
Well, look, they're clearly selecting to a plan. It's befuddled a lot of us as to, what that is. They see how they... are coming to the bowling rotations anyway. But just on the Todd Astle, I'm thrilled that he is getting an opportunity. Speak to him yesterday.
Very interesting conditions. And how do you feel about Tim Sullivan? That's a player you...
over a long period of time, and he would enjoy these conditions today. But, I mean, New Zealand have decided to go with Matt Henry. Again, he's certainly required that.
Yeah, just a little bit right. We're not far away from cricket here at Hagley Oval. Covers a first ball, and we will see you very soon.
দেশের পুণ্যের প্রমাণ রাখতে টাইগাররা এখন নিউজিল্যান্ডে। নিউজিল্যান্ড সফর 13 ফেব্রুয়ারি থেকে 20 মার্চ।
এটা নিয়ে পথ থেকে পথে শুইয়া শুইয়া রূপালী মায়া
রূপালী মায়ায় অটুট থাকুক খাবারের স্বাদ, তার গন্ধ।
2 T20s and 5 one-day. Channel 9.
স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি চ্যানেল 9 এর বিশেষ আয়োজন ইগলু পাওয়ার প্লে অনুষ্ঠানে। নির্বাচকরা এখন কিছু কিছু স্পেশালিস্ট প্লেয়ার ফর ডিফারেন্ট
ইনজুরিতে থাকবে,
নিজেদের উইকেটটা মোটামুটি বিলিয়ে দেওয়ার ব্যাপারটা
যদি সলিড ক্যাপিটালাইজ করা যায়।
ইগলু পাওয়ার প্লে দেখবেন বাংলাদেশ নিউজ
In Christchurch, but play will start. On time, and the second one and deciding to bowl first, not surprisingly, in the oval. And those kids will finish up and they'll probably get any international cricket during the Indian series. Nisham de Grandholm Astle comes into the side today. He's very happy about having a crack at home. Then Henry Ferguson Bolt, because his team has got a lot of work
to do with bat in hand. They were a little disjointed on their way into New Zealand, so not. To worry about the runs per over.
What are you expecting from today in terms of New Zealand's performance?
There will be some assistance for the New Zealand bowlers. It ships match earlier on the year when there might have been some life in the surface. They bowled very well. I still. I'm not prepared to turn my back on Tim Southee yet. I think Tim Southee.
Duro.
Respected umpire from South Africa. Dan.
Never mind.
Yeah, we don't hear you.
সৌরভ 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 তোরা ফোন তো
When you're talking to your coffee, two players out there that are playing because they need the cricket. If they want to use his pace, they got to continue to play him. I don't think New Zealand want to turn their back on or should turn their back on just yet. Isn't it? They can forward in the last game for Todd Astle to play, and I think it's a brilliant decision. I wouldn't have thought.
Start this morning, Mark.
ব্যান্ডের খোঁজে ফ্রান্সের ডিভাস মিউজিক রিয়েলিটি শো দেখতে শুরু হয় নতুন করে এগিয়ে যাওয়া আর এই পথ চলায় যেগুলো নতুন
শক্তিযুক্ত ভিম লিকুইড এখন মাত্র 20 টাকার সহজ প্যাকেট।
That man for Tamim is quite a long. Just a little Napier in the first one-day international. It was a beauty. But you don't like getting those deliveries up early. A little bit square because the ball is swinging.
সার্ভারের সমস্যা, একটু লাইনে থাকেন, চলে আসবে।
In action. Tomorrow. Great decision. King super smash. I'd even go, hey, I think you've got to commend the management, New Zealand Cricket.
Almost a test match start from a Seddon Park in Hamilton. It is the grand final. Of the Burger King because it's the provinces. Moyes went down the leg side. It's interesting.
Wasn't the bat, then quite sure what it could be.
Opportunity goes begging there.
When you're naught off 30. Deliveries.
Might look for two now. Well, somehow it's five without.
Relax. আজকে বিউটি প্রবলেমস এর সমাধান আছে সাদা দাঁতের জন্য বা এক উজ্জ্বলতা
দাদের পাঠ এক্সেস ইন্টারনেটের মেয়াদ নিয়ে এখন নো টেনশন।
No real timing. It was a good length delivery.
অ্যাডভান্সড মাল্টিভিটামিন যা আপনার ত্বককে রোদের মলিনতা থেকে সুরক্ষা।
সব বাবাই চান তার সন্তান।
আমি
এমন ভাবনাগুলোর সাথেই শুরু হয় নতুন করে এগিয়ে যায়।
Magnificent shots to Dumoshaka. He's at the non-striker's end because while the ball was in the air, they got underneath it. He's just judged that perfectly. You see when they're coming over your shoulder. The only thing going for him is it's not. Big block. Single, but two balls in a row.
Is to maybe take out Aston. That square leg, and he shouldn't really be touching the ball.
Now we got two. Stage, will go.
লাড্ডু না রে তুই না বলছিস।
এজন্য ক্যাভিটি হয় তা ঠিক।
নতুন ব্যাটারি বের করে সুরক্ষা দেয় ক্যাভিটি থেকে।
মনে হচ্ছে
ফাস্টেস্ট ইন্টারনেটে মেয়াদ নিয়ে এখন নো টেনশন। গ্রামীণফোন।
More than safety.
They're off. Pitch surface doesn't get affected by the slight drizzle. We'll go around the boundary, so unfortunately. Fortunately, we're looking just a little. It's probably stopped. It's when the a little too heavy, but it's goes across. I always think you get a good indication too of build-ups that the teams had. There was a shower, it was gone within. Close. There's another under that umbrella. You know, there's not too much of an issue. Well, ground sort of put in one of the bigger hits. Just going to make it take longer to actual law is here. So the players, if it is just like has to be completely stopped. That we understand. Do it, but they make little alterations to that all the time. I can understand why you'd understand that. But if anything, there was just a tap down. There you go, see? Break, I reckon when we come back, we should have some cricket for you.
ভাই আপনারা 10 মিনিট অপেক্ষা করেন, আমি আপনাদেরকে ভালো খেলা দেখার চেষ্টা করতেছি। মাত্র 10 মিনিট, একটু শেয়ার দেন, আমি 10 মিনিটের মধ্যে লাইভ দেখাচ্ছি। দাঁড়ান।
অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ফয়েল।
দেশের মাটিতে দুর্দান্ত খেলার টিকাররা এখন নিউজিল্যান্ডে থেকে সরাসরি দেখতে চোখ
এটা নিয়ে যা মা।
থেকে পথে
কি হচ্ছে?
মায়ায় অটুট থাকুক খাবারের স্বাদ আর গন্ধ। বিএফএল অ্যালুমিনিয়াম ফয়েল।